Hey everyone, want to do a quick review of Venom number 16 by Donny Cates. Got a nice looking cover here. It's still weirding me out, like, that's not the Eddie Brock with like the beard and everything is weird to me. And this is actually fake news because Rhino isn't in this issue at all, but whatever. Let's flip right in. It took me a while to actually read this issue because I'm looking through it, just leafing through it. This part here with the symbiote in the Sunday is kind of interesting. But then it just starts with this Bendis-esque wall of text reminding us of what happened with the Null arc. Blah, blah, blah. Now he doesn't have the symbiote anymore, supposedly. But his kid's sick. He's got to get some medicine and some soup because that's what you got to eat when you're sick. But he doesn't have any money. And that's what you need to get soup that you eat when you're sick. And, medicine too. So he meets with this guy. Oh, there's a Sin Eater. That's interesting. They've got something in a frame here about the Sin Eater being exposed. And Eddie Brock meets with some guy who he apparently knows. Does it tell us what his name is? I don't think it's so. Some person he knows from his past. He knows that Eddie Brock is kind of not reliable. He might know that Eddie Brock is Venom. I don't know. But Eddie Brock says, I need a job. So the guy's like, well, I'll give you something. Go. Basically, a bunch of kids are disappearing. And this guy's not too worried about it. He's like, there's an event going on. Obviously, all the kids, all the civilians are running away. And as soon as the event is over and Marvel is preparing for the next earth-shattering event, they'll come back and everything will be magically fixed and New York City will be repaired and everything will go back to normal. But in the meantime, just so the parents don't think... It's actually kind of interesting. He says basically, the kids go missing, the parents go to the cops can't do anything, so the parents go to the press to light a fire under the cops, even though the cops can't do anything, which sounds kind of fair. I have a job in IT, and I kind of feel like that. Customers come to us, or end users come to us because they won't need us to fix something. It's something we can't fix, so they go above our heads to management. We can't fix it. But anyway, so he's like, go figure out what's going on with these missing kids. And, I'll think about, getting you a job or something at that point, or at least another gig maybe. So meanwhile, Eddie's, dude, he's all serious about this. And he's got like all along he's having these hallucinations of Venom coming out, like this thing inside of him that he can't control, even though he's been separated by Venom apparently. So he follows some leads, he finds this hideout, kicks down the door, and he's kind of like in his head, he's still Venom, even though he's not. So he's kind of like, the visuals of the issue are switching back and forth. He's got the Venom teeth here. In this panel, that almost just looks like human teeth, except exaggerated. Anyway, he finds a bunch of drug money and blood in the... wherever this is. Gets attacked by some thugs, but they're all like taken over by some sort of symbiote or something. They've got like weird spiral eyes and stuff. So he just lets loose, even though he doesn't have the symbiote. He's still out of control, just murdering these people. I don't think he actually kills anyone, but dude, it's brutal. It's just like, look at that. He like crunches this guy's shoulder. He's, slapping this guy, breaking somebody's leg. And he even admits these people they're being controlled by something else. And he doesn't care. He's got super, super anger issues and he just takes it out on him, punches this guy in the face. This is just brutal. He eventually gets a hold of a shotgun. He finds out this guy, who apparently is the Sin Eater, was resurrected by either Null or Carnage or something. Wouldn't that be funny if Carnage like resurrected people? That's almost like the opposite of his whole shtick. But I'm trying to find that previous page because we had this teaser about the Sin Eater. This guy apparently is the Sin Eater. He's like, hey, Carnage is back and he sent me to test you. And Eddie Brock is basically like, he has a shotgun and he wants to kill this guy. Oh, and he finds the kids are in here too, so he's got to save the kids. But he got a shotgun from one of the thugs, but then he ends up not using it. By the way, I'd hate to have duct tape over my mouth like these kids do. I mean, in addition to just not being able to talk, I mean, like, what if you had a stuffy nose or something? That'd be horrible. But yeah, somehow, for some reason, he doesn't use the shotgun. He just goes crazy, and he's still visualizing himself as Venom. And he uses, like, this excuse where, obviously, I think the Sin Eater is a murderer. That doesn't mean you have the right to enact capital punishment of your own accord on him. But Venom kind of uses the excuse of, oh, he's already dead, so it's okay to kill him. So he just starts beating down on him. You can see all the onomatopoeia here. The crunch, crook, bash, bam, crunch, crack, snap, splotch, woofum. That's the best one. But obviously, Venom is not a hero. It actually reminds me back to one of those earlier issues where he actually, Eddie Brock, justifies murdering some people who are after him by saying they were bad people, so it's okay to murder them. And here obviously, the Sin Eater, I'm sure, is much less, much more guilty of more crimes. But you can't just murder people. Anyway, apparently he does, and he goes back covered in blood, and the guy's like, yeah, I wasn't, expecting you to come back covered in blood like that. But Eddie Brock just says, just give me whatever's in your wallet. Don't worry about any future jobs. Obviously, I'm a maniac. And he goes back and meets with his son, who doesn't know that he's his son, who thinks he's his brother. And they bond over the soup that he bought with the not really blood money, but it's probably covered in blood because he was covered in blood and he did get it kind of for murdering someone. By the way, House of X #1. Yay. I'm not particularly excited. I think it's time for Hickman now. Anyway, so they bond over the soup being bad, and that's the end of the issue. They do the letters page at the end. What do I think about this issue? It's kind of interesting. It feels like they're going to go for something. I don't know if they're like trying to hint that there's still a piece of Venom inside of Eddie, or that Venom was always a part of Eddie. Hopefully they're not going for that second one, but I can see them doing something with there's still a part of Venom in Eddie that's still there, and all he has to do is strengthen it and call it back out and become Venom again. Or maybe they're doing something where the anger didn't come from the symbiote, it came from Eddie. I'm gonna sneeze here. Maybe sneeze out a symbiote. But I don't know. I don't know what they're doing here. It's kind of interesting. The issue wasn't that exciting. He just goes out and murders a guy and brutalizes some other people, saves some kids. Yeah. Don't murder people, kids. Doesn't matter if they're bad people, you still don't get to murder them. That's why we have a judicial system. But self-defense is another matter, of course. Capital punishment is another matter as well, of course. But that's just my opinion. The book, I don't know. It certainly exists. The cover is fake news. It's brutal. Stuff happens, kind of, but not really. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. It is what it is. So this one's getting, for a review, man, do I give this an orange or a yellow rating? I don't know. I feel like an orange is too mean, but we're going to go that. The grading scale goes double green is best, green, yellow, orange, red, and then double red is the worst, is what I've come up with so far. We're just going to give this one orange. I don't know. It's just kind of dumb, but, you know, whatever. Maybe you disagree with me. Let me know what you think. If you like what you saw here, then go ahead and pick up the issue for yourself. You can read it by word by word, panel by panel, and page by page without having to rely on my summary and thoughts here. If you do, of course, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you don't, let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm always happy to talk this over with people. That's one of the reasons I record my thoughts, is to hear yours. If you do want to pick up this issue for yourself, you can find it at your local comic shop. If you don't know where that is, just do a quick Google search. You can find out online. If you don't have a shop nearby, there are comic shops that will ship to you, so you can support a local comic shop even if it's not local to you. And if you prefer reading digitally, there's always, of course, Amazon Comixology. Support what you love. Again, that's the best way to guarantee that it will continue to be around for you. And that's all I have here. This is just kind of I mean, the art's good. It's kind of almost working into something interesting with, you know, is the symbiote still there? What's going on with Eddie? But it's just kind of it doesn't need, it's a skippable issue, in my opinion. It's just leading into absolute carnage. And that's where the action is going to be for a while. I think once that starts up, that book and this book will start to be important again. But we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, and bye.